Hello, Senior Bulldogs. It's episode 2 of Step by Step with your Senior Backpack Defense. In episode 1, we looked at uploading your artifacts to your backpack website. This is going to take it to the next steps. So, again, we've already went through this slide and then this slide. I wanted to make a stop here again at the checklist because, again, the checklist, I suggested you print this out or write it down or copy it and make your own slide deck so you can pull this out or even put it in a Google Doc. This is your guide. So what we're going to look at today, which is create a showcase in the backpack and put your 2 best artifacts from each skill folder attached and described in the showcase file. So if you're not sure what that looks like, that's why you should be here watching this video. So, creating the showcase file. Now, there is a slide deck linked on this slide. So it goes into another one, and we're going to look at that in just a second. But I wanted to see this as a whole. So we are going to make a showcase. And what a showcase is really is almost like a container for all of your stuff. And what that allows you is when you're finished, your panelist and scorer will be able to find your showcase and everything will be there. So that's really easy for you when you're done and really easy for your scorer to find your materials. So this little bit of legwork allows it to be a much easier process. So let's now open the slide deck. So here we are in the other slide deck about how to create the showcase. Now this is a couple of slides in. So what you're going to do is, when you open this on your own, feel free to dig on in here. And it should look something like this. JCPS and Google are the ones that keep updating this, so it might look a little bit different. But what you're looking for is you'll see tabs usually somewhere along the top that say your artifacts, and that's what you're looking at when you're uploading things like from episode 1, when you're adding pictures and your papers and Google Docs and things like that, your projects. You're adding those to the artifacts. There should be a spot where you can go to an area called Showcases. And once you're there, you would hit the Create button. And then it would look something like this. This is kind of what a showcase looks like. I know from a scorer's point of view, this is what we see. So it looks very similar. Up towards the top, notice it says Untitled Showcase. When we go back to our other slideshow, we'll talk about exactly what you need to do, but you will need to give it a file like title, and there's an easy way to do that. Here is a blurb or audience hook. Adding something here like, welcome to my showcase. I hope you enjoy. Something like that can go in there. This doesn't need to be done yet in this step. When you've created your presentation that you're going to record, you would link that Google slide presentation here, and you would just hit that add button, link it to your Google Slides. Bam, that's there. But then notice this bottom part. Here are, again, the categories that look exactly like in your backpack when you're uploading artifacts. So you have Prepared and Resilient Learner and so on. Now notice when you create the showcase, it's going to look exactly like this. You may have 25 artifacts in Prepared and Resilient Learner, but you open this and it says 0. These boxes show you what is actually in your showcase file, not what's in your backpack. So that brings us to the second checkbox of our checklist for episode 2, which is adding your 2 best artifacts for each one of these spots. So for example, my 2 best Prepared and Resilient Learner artifacts, my best work, my trophy case, the 2 best things that I would want everyone to see that I did. All right. And you would put 2 of those in here. Now, if you only have 2 of each in your backpack, those are going to have to be the 2 that you bring in, because if you haven't uploaded anything else, you don't have much to choose from. Okay. So when you've finished getting your artifacts into your showcase, linking them in, which you just hit this add button and say, and it will open up from your backpack, or do you want to bring it in from somewhere else? It should be in your backpack first before you bring it into your showcase. Once you have all of these in your showcase, it should say 2 across all of these color-coded categories. That means you have them in there correctly. All right, we will do more with the showcase later, but these 2 check boxes are creating your showcase, getting it set up, and dropping your 2 best artifacts, your best learning trophies into each one of those categories. Now we're going to jump back to the original slideshow. And here we are back at the original slideshow. And again, it has the instructions we just went through, titling your showcase. Notice we're suggesting the title should be your last name, comma, first name, dash, backpack defense. So mine would be Daniel, comma, Matthew, for example, backpack defense. And then your 2 best artifacts that we mentioned in that showcase slide deck. We didn't go through a lot of the slides. I'm trying to keep the video short. Make sure you go through that if you have trouble, okay? Learning trophy case, your best stuff. And again, once your presentation's done, we'll hit on that again. It needs to go in your showcase. As long as you take the time and start it and do each of these pieces at a time, we're going to get there. If you look back and I love showing this because think about it. We have a lot of checks here, check boxes here. If you finished episode 2 and done what we've said and followed the instructions in the slide decks that I've shown you, you're already almost halfway done. Now, it may not feel like it, but you are almost halfway done as far as the tasks. So that's the end of episode 2. Again, if you have any questions about these 2 tasks, feel free to email me, matthew.daniel@jefferson.kyschools.us. Ask me any questions you like. If we need to hop into a Google Meet and work through showing you how to get artifacts into your showcase, or even show you how to make a showcase, please email me. We will set up a time and we'll hop into a Google Meet and make sure that this works out for you. Again, we are here to make sure you get the best grade possible. So we want you to succeed. That's why I'm making these videos, is to see you succeed. So come on, Senior Bulldogs, let's get this knocked out. Again, we want to see all of these done, if possible, by the end of spring break. So we have a little bit over 4 weeks, and that's a huge amount of time to get this done. So just need to put our heads to the task, and I know you're going to do great. Thanks and have a great one.